real cases before a real judge.
Plaintiff Larry Jarrahs works with the defendant, and he trained her on the job. Larry says despite the fact that the defendant failed to repay a loan he gave her a few years back, he agreed to give her another loan. But he's suing because, once again, she failed to repay. Defendant Andrea Petty says a few years ago, she went on a couple of dates with Larry. But after she rejected him, he told their co-workers that she looked better with her clothes on. Andrea tried to file a sexual harassment claim against Larry, and she denies owing him because she gave him a car to pay off the debt.
Start with you.
We're co-workers, and I'm also training her at work. We kind of get close, a little bit close, so try to be helpful and try and get her out of a hole she had dug herself into. And unfortunately, I bore the burden of that one. I should have known, but I don't know how to go into detail on it, but
just go into it.
Okay. We kind of get close, a little bit close, so try to be helpful and try and get her out of a hole she had dug herself into. I should have known, but I don't know how to go into detail on it, but
just go into it.
Okay.
Plaintiff Larry Jarrahs is suing his co-worker, who claims Larry sexually harassed her at work by insinuating that they had sex.
Go ahead.
Well, I pretty much I should have known better, but
why? How should you have known better? What indicators?
Well, I had a bad dealing before. I had
with her?
Yes, I had. Yes. I had lent her some money on a previous occasion. It was a few years back.
How much?
It was a couple $100.
Did she repay you that?
No, she didn't. You're
okay.
Right.
Any other bad dealings?
Well, she's the word is she likes to borrow money and not pay it back. But
you knew that before you loaned her this money?
I was aware of it, but
you knew she had a reputation. She had burned you before.
Yeah.
Are you in love with her?
No.
Your Honor,
you don't sound too certain.
If I can interrupt him.
You let me hear from you, man.
There is a history. We do work together. There is a history between us a few years back. We did go on a couple of dates.
See there? He is in love with you.
You think?
What you do to this man?
I did nothing.
Go ahead.
I did nothing. I went out on a couple of dates, and things went bad. He was driving me to work, giving me rides to work back and forth because I didn't have a car. And then all of a sudden, out of the blue, that stopped. Then I started hearing he's starting rumors about me to my coworkers, saying that I look better with my clothes on. And yeah, that's what I said. I went to the office and tried to get him for sexual harassment.
What was he doing?
He alluded like we were having sex. And he never saw me with my clothes off.
He said that to other people?
Other workers who informed me later.
But what did he say to you regarding his desire to be with you?
He just wanted to go on dates. He said that he was in love with me.
And he would say that on the job?
Yes.
And would you ever reject him?
I told him I wasn't really interested in a relationship with him in that way.
Okay. But you did go on dates with him? 2
times.
For what purpose?
Friends.
Okay. So it wasn't a date, it was just an outing. Because if me and Doyle hang out, we're not dating. I wouldn't use that term.
Yeah. We went out a couple times.
That's the term you use.
Yeah. This was after that.
After what?
I thought he had changed. Him and I had talked.
Okay. He said, I'm not going to ask you for a date anymore. He said, I'm going to leave you alone?
Yes, pretty much.
Okay.
You know, he says he was going to take a step back.
Okay. And
if I wasn't reciprocating.
And then he continued.
He resumed this past year.
Okay. What do you want to tell me about this breach of contract?
Well, you get as far as the loans are concerned, I did it to try and help her move herself forward.
Come on, man. You know you wanted to, woman. Now, come on. What else? $1,235. Tell me. One last time.
Okay.
How does she owe you $1,235?
Okay, but what it boiled down to is I lent her the money to pay off her payday loan.
When was she to repay you?
It was on a regular payment schedule, but it took a couple of weeks to get her to sign the agreements. Okay, for first, and then I lent her an additional money. A car was gifted to her. Okay, and so, but she didn't have the money to pay for the title transfer.
Yes, I did.
Quiet. You know, I got him talking, so stop.
The
Go ahead, man. Go.
title transfer, the taxes, there's a state tax on it, and also for the insurance. But part of the agreement was that I would retain title of the car as collateral. So I paid the 6 months insurance up front on the car, which was the term of the loan originally. By the time we got to sign the loan, she says, oh, I can't afford that much money a month. I said, wait a minute. You could afford $266 a month for the payday loan, but you can't afford to pay me $150. I says, what can you afford? She's like, well, I can afford about $100. Well, that stretched it out to about 9 months.
Did she ultimately sign an agreement?
Yes, she did.
Let me see that. You have that?
Signed the agreement and the promissory notes.
All right.
Plaintiff Larry Jarrahs is suing his coworker, who claims Larry sexually harassed her at work by insinuating that they had sex.
Ma'am?
I had taken out a payday loan. It was for a car that was impounded. Had nothing to do with the car in question today. I told him what I did, and he told me, he says, you should have never done that because it was a lot of money that they charge you for financing. I says, what else can I have done? Because I needed to get this car out of impound so I can get back and forth to work. He says, all you had to do was ask. So I says, okay, do you want to pay off this loan, and then I'll just pay you? And then here come the promissory notes. After the car was put in his name, after everything was in his name and the payday loan was paid off, I had to sign these. So I did.
Okay. What's your defense to not paying what you signed?
I gave him the car back.
How much was the car worth? Was the car
At least
worth?
$400 or $500 for him to put it into.
But you borrowed $1,200.
No, I did not. No, I did not.
Oh.
He's got late
Well,
fees
I'm sorry.
on here, Your
Let me
Honor.
look at the. That's not the amount on these notes. And you gave me like 4 documents, 10 pages
Right.
each.
There's 2
I'll
different
allow
notes.
you to give me the exact page
Okay.
with the exact amount that she signed.
The original note,
Not the original, the final amount she agreed to pay you. Circle it,
2
and
notes.
Doyle will hand it to me.
There's, that's this.
Can I continue, Your Honor?
That amount.
Before I told him, I says, I'm not going to pay you to title plant tax the car.
I'm looking at a document saying, I will repay you $540. There's another note that says, I will repay you $385. That totals how much?
$925.
$925. And you say you put up the car as collateral, and he should keep that as his payment. Is that what you're saying?
$540, yes.
Right, so who should pay the other? He takes the loss?
The car.
Hello?
The car. The car.
Do the math if
I'm
you
not
can.
going to pay him, Your Honor, for the
Okay,
title plate and
I
tax.
think you are. Judgment for the plaintiff. Goodbye.
Okay. I'm just glad this is over and done with. And ladies out there, beware. He's a predator.
I guess you have to know her. There was no sexual harassment, so